realize I didn't really explain what I was doing here, but I went to go mess with some of the wiring and I realized how disgusting the trunk was. So I sprayed it down with some purple power and took a power washer to it, which, in hindsight, not the greatest idea, but there was a lot of rat feces and just gross stuff everywhere. So it did most of the job. It got a lot of it out, got a lot of the caked on stuff that's been there for years and years and years. Got to some weird angles. It's still not the cleanest, but I was comfortable actually being inside of it, working in there. So that's what this is. Okay, so I've got two spools of wire here. I'm going to cut these two wires. That one's already cut, so that's not, gas gauge ain't gonna work. Anyways, I'm gonna cut these two wires here. I'm gonna tape one black and one red to it just so I know tails and brakes. And then I'm gonna find out where these come out up there. And then I'm gonna fish them through, just pull these ones through. I'm not gonna wire tails in yet. I've been playing with the meter trying to figure out what's going on there. It's gonna take me a little bit more time and I don't have a whole lot of time tonight. So we're just gonna make it work with what we got for right now. And hopefully it goes well. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. Alrighty. So there are two wires here. Again, I don't know which one does what. They're connected here. Oh. Well, I do not think I will be pulling them through. Figure out where those come out at then. Okay, after a little bit of searching, found them. They run through the headliner, which makes sense. I'm used to my 59 forward, which it's a truck, so it runs along the frame rail. These run up, down through there, and in through there. So that's not too big of a deal. Should be able to do that no problem. And then I'll probably just tape the ends of the wire here and pull them down into there. We'll see. Okay, got it tied off here, got it ran along the trunk line. I'm only gonna run one right now. I was gonna run those spools, but they're old wire. I'm not a huge fan of them. They're just not what I want. So we're gonna run some auto parts store wire that I have. It's a brand new roll, 16 gauge, which was what original was. So we're gonna run it from there. Just one for now. Up, I've got it tucked up in there as you can see. And then around in here, I just don't want, this light's not the greatest. There we go. You're gonna have to bear with the flashy. Got it ran up there. You can see putting all the way through. And I'm starting to run it through these thingamabobbers, that bow line, whatever they're called. I can't remember the name of them, but we'll get you positioned. And then I'll go to the store tomorrow and buy some different color of the same stuff, because it'll just be nicer if I have, if I can color coordinate here, just so I know what the hell I'm dealing with when it comes to wiring, or later down the line I'm trying to diagnose something that's wrong. So, which should only be 3, but I want this dome light to work too. There's a dome light up here. Let's see, this dome light that's right here, it doesn't work. It may work. I can't tell if the bulb's broken. No, the bulb looks good. So that just might be a, nope, it doesn't work. Okay, so this power line, this wire might be bad for this dome light too. So I'll run all of them. I'll run gas tank line, fuel level line, excuse me. And I'll run the dome light, and then I'll run the two tails, the tail and the brake light, all at the same time. I'll just tape them all together and use this old stuff as a snake, pull them through. So I'll do that tomorrow if I have time. If you haven't noticed, I'm in the middle of like 2 or 3 different videos, filming all at the same time. So as I get things done, I kind of just film them and then I chop them together. So like the rust repair video that's up already, I did that while also working on the upholstery video, which hopefully will be next week. Maybe, we'll see. And then I'm waiting for some stuff to come in tomorrow for that. And then today I'm doing this electrical. I cut these holes, so I'm kind of all over the place. So if it doesn't make sense, it's because it doesn't make sense to me, and I'm just trying to make it work. So we'll see you tomorrow. Time today, I've already ran the other wire that from the trunk up to where the red wire is. I haven't pulled them through the dash yet, but I want to run all of these wires all at the same time. I'm going to show you, well, kind of an old hot rodders trick. Normally use Diet Coke. I don't have any Diet Coke here and I'm too lazy to go to the store. So I just grabbed WD-40 because, I don't know, it was on the counter and I could grab it. So I'm going to spray this with WD-40. It doesn't work as well, and this is really pitted, so this is going to be really hard to get it to the point. And then some tin foil, kitchen tin foil, and you just go to town on this for a few minutes. This is where the Coca-Cola helps. Eats away the rust a little bit better with the acidity in it or whatever. That's what it looks like. So that to that. I'll keep at this for a little while, see what I can get out of it. Dome light. This is, I got lazy, I'll be honest. You can't really see it on the light, but I got a little bit lazy. This side looks fantastic, as you can see. This side, not so much. I can do that in the future, that's no big deal. Easy to come off. Next, the switch here, which is kind of nasty, but I didn't have a female, whatever you might call it, connector, butt connector. So I carefully, ignore the wires that are still sticking out of it. I carefully took this connector off the old wire, and I'm just gonna reuse it. Be good enough. I mean, come on. I mean, it's lasted 76 years. Can last a few more, maybe, hopefully more, because I don't want to replace it. But it shouldn't be too bad. This heat shrink box was in the trunk of Saguaro Sally when it was getting hot down there in the desert, and it shrunk all of my heat shrink. So that wasted. What about my other box? Is this one still good, or are these starting to shrink too? See, that one's kaput. These look okay. Yeah, they look good. That's weird. Never experienced that before, but anyways. That's all got to be tucked up in there like this. Okay, that works. Okay, I realized I wasn't recording, but I got it mostly in. I'm just kind of tucking wires in. Kind of, sort of. That's it. Now we're gonna go back up to there and finish this wiring. Okay, we just gotta get this green wire through, and then I've got one more wire for the fuel tank. So I have the old wiring harness here. You can't see, it's kind of dark in here. The old wiring harness here taped to the new wires, and I'm gonna get under here and just pull these old wires and hopefully feed the new stuff through, if we're lucky. As you can see, we got the new wires down here already, so I'm gonna pull those all the way through, clean it up, and I'll get back to you. I just yanked the green wire, which is going to be my headlamp, my map light, my dome light wire. I just drug it over there and stuck it into the positive terminal. And check this out. 75 years, still have a dome light. Let's see if the switch works, see if my wiring did it. The answer to that is no. Okay, so I need a new switch for that. Unfortunate, because that's cool. It wants to stop. It like
kind of is there, but not really. Oh! Oh! Yeah, switch is bad. There, oh. Anyways, pretty cool. Slight issue. This fuse block here. Let's see if I can get you to, I don't know why you're zoomed out. This fuse block here, well, I went to go try to pull this off and it snapped in half, and now I don't have power. See, that's not supposed to be like that. And now I don't have power to any of these. Huh. That's not ideal. So I'm gonna have to replace that. Which is not fun. Whoops. Which is not fun, but I gotta replace that now. So I guess our wiring job is done for the day. What I'm trying to do now is sort out, I got a new fuse block in here. I don't know what any of these wires do. All these wires are gonna have to be replaced, but I'm trying to figure out where they go and what they do. So far, one of them gives power from this switch, from this switch, the light switch. I know that because I just, well, I can show you, hold on. Turn the lights on, which are on, you can't see, but the lights are on. Now, if I just take, this is my head map light, dome light, whatever you wanna call it, and that one. So when I turn that light switch on, that comes on. So that makes me think that it is dome light. I mean, tails. The wiring diagram that I have shows the headlights a part of this fuse block, but I'm not convinced that. So I don't know what these I don't know what these wires do. They're really ratty. I'm bleeding too. Stab myself with a screwdriver. And I also don't know how the brake lights work, because when I pulled the old master cylinder out, didn't have any wires going to it for like a pressure sensor, or yeah, pressure sensor, pressure switch. So yellow will be our tails, which I don't mind coming on at half pole. So that's what we will do with these. But meanwhile, I'm gonna go wire those into the tail lights, or let's see what that takes. Hold on. I have this jerry rigged. This is gonna have to be sorted because the other side doesn't even have those spare wires hanging out, but I just have the yellow line attached to a random one of the two. I don't know which one. I don't know if they're duals. I don't know. We're gonna find out. I'm assuming they're duals, but I don't know exactly how they'll work yet. So normally one wire goes to the pressure switch, the master cylinder, or wherever. So now here, if we take this side of our yellow, which just once, I'll swap over to the GoPro. One right there. Now, get that out of here. Here. Yeah. Shove this in there. So now we take that, and in theory, we come back here and check that out. Now I don't know if that's the brighter of the two. Let's swap those wires and see if I do that and it gets brighter. Okay, so I had them swapped. So this side's brake. So that, I mean, that's just tails. Oh, sorry. That's just tails on. That's just tails on. Now watch when I tap this to that. Well, that, hold on. Ow, it's hot. Probably gonna catch fire here. See, oh, tails, brake, tails, brake. That's how that goes. Now granted, the connection's a little shoddy, but okay, so now we know yellow's a tail, which is the one it's connected to, which is good. I'll do I just don't like how that's raw wire hanging out. Lots of heat shrink, I guess. This is tail lights, I just put a piece of heat shrink to cover up the bare aluminum wire that it's on it. Excuse me, bare aluminum. And then through this spade connector, female on there. I don't have any male spade connectors, so I can't do this correctly, but I will jam this in here and we'll test it out again just to make sure everything's good. That should be a good enough connection. Let's go test it out. Now, in theory, if we turn this off and we go up, if we go up here and we turn that on, that's tail light. Oh boy, we have some dim tail lights, but they're there. I might have to add one so I don't get smoked, but that'll be okay. Let's put the lens in, which is kind of cool. We'll use the tail light here. You can see the original red plastic of it where it wasn't sun faded. Not very red anymore. There we go. One tail light working. For now, I gotta actually cut this wire because it's 17,000 feet long, so sort all that out, but we'll get it done. I need to go home. It's already 8 o'clock at night and I gotta work at 6 a.m. tomorrow. So again, I've got distracted with this damn thing, so we're in trouble now. Gotta clean up and get out of here. So I've got this taillight assembly disassembled. As you can see, those are the wires that come out of the back of this. They were chopped off. There we go. Where's the light? Where's the wires that come out the back of this were chopped off, so I pulled this apart seeing how it was connected, and well, the wires are the contacts themselves, which is kind of a pain because I don't have anything here to do that, and I was hoping to do this tonight. That being said, I think I can get, here, I got a flashlight. I think I can get that socket out of there, and AutoZone has a 2-wire universal-ish one in stock. I'm gonna try to go see if that'll work. This one's good, it already works. I have new lenses on the way as well, just so you're aware. I fought a bolt on this side, one of the bolts holding, the studs I should say, holding that in, so I'll have to sort that out later, but no big deal. Got that fully mounted. I'm gonna show you the finished product. It's not as centered as I would like it, but it's in there, which is cool. So, you know, if we start to burn to the ground, at least we have some protection. At least I can waste $15 or whatever it was on the fire before it burns the entire car to the ground. So that's cool. So we're gonna hop on the old motorcycle and go to AutoZone. Okay, after a lot of hammering, I got the old socket out. This is the cheap little $5 one from off the shelf. I'm hoping it'll work. It probably won't, but make it work, right? Get this in. This goes in like this. I only got one bolt right now. Just, well, hold on. There we go. Maybe. Only got one bolt right now, so we're just gonna make it work. She's in, kind of, I guess. I realize now I can't. I have to run a wire. I'm gonna run a wire extension to here to there and make it work. Just 1 second. Wire there that's connected to that block is my tail lights. Red wire's brake lights. Purple wire is fuel level gauge, and green wire is dome light so far. So now I gotta take this extra yellow wire that I've got going on here and go wire it into this new light, hopefully splice it. So that's the goal. All right, I got that secondary wire ran. Here's the leads to that, and that's pretty bright. That's dimmer, so that's gonna be our tails, brakes. Tails, brakes. Which is kind of unfortunate because the brakes are very bright and the tails very dim. But maybe some new bulbs will fix that. So that's good. I don't have any connectors for these. I forgot to get some male spade connectors is over here. I just had this jammed into this right here, jammed into my connector in there, which you can't see, but there's a spade connector there. Also, I'm not a huge fan of these splices, but it'll work. So tails are done-ish enough for tonight. I need to get a new bulb for each side. Might as well. See if we can get some brighter ones, maybe. Possibly. Need to get connectors so I can connect them. And then the tail lights will be working. The brake lights are a different story, which I have the red wire here for the brake lights. I don't know how this car's brakes were activated. The lights were activated. There may have been a switch somewhere. I didn't see any switches on the old master cylinder or any wires over there, under there. So I might just take this. There's a little plug here in the master. I might just put a pressure switch, a pressure switch in there, and then just run the wires up through the firewall and then down into the cab. Up through the firewall and then into the cab, and then into this block. Maybe, yeah, into this block. Maybe, I don't know. I'll figure out how those ran. I got to look at the wiring diagram for that. And then I got to look at the wiring diagram to see where my fuel, I think this just goes out in the back of the gauge, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll look at that right now. And if it does, I'll do that right now because the gauge is up here, top left. So we'll see where that goes. I'll take a gander right now and see if we can get this eliminated. And then we'll have the dome light, which I don't know how I'm going to run the dome light yet. Also, dome light, which you saw me put together and get up there and it was working. And then I was messing around with it, which I believe it's over here. Yep. I was messing around with it because this switch was kind of, well, not working. And, well, I broke the switch, so it doesn't work. I have a piece of aluminum in there that I kind of just made work, but it doesn't because aluminum, you know, I was just trying to figure out the idea of how to make this. And the answer is I can't. I don't know how. I'm not skilled enough. So I'm going to have to figure out if I can buy one of these switches. It seemed to be kind of hard to find. If not, I'll have to figure out how to make that work with the ground switch. That I don't know. I'll have to sort that part out. That's going to be a little bit tricky. But other than that, this works once you get it to ground. And I have the bezel in here. I cleaned the bezel up and ordered a new lens for it because I kind of got excited. So I cleaned that all up with some aluminum foil and some Coke, and then a new lens. So it might be a little bit dark in here, but imagine, if you will, whoa, as I'm about to break it because I'm throwing it. Imagine, if you will, something like that. That looks pretty good, especially in stark comparison to this roof, which I need to sort out, but haven't yet because that's a lot of work and it's gonna be messy. This wiring stuff's kind of hard to show you because I'm up in this dash, but if you look up there, that terminal right there, center screen, that's the back of the fuel gauge. So I've unhooked that one, and when I was just trying to figure out what was what in this fuse block, I just continuity tested it. I have the fuel gauge wire going to that for some reason, so I'm gonna unplug that, and then I'm just gonna run that purple wire, which right there, up to that terminal up there. So that's what I'm working on now, but just trying to take out all the old wiring while I'm doing it, so it's becoming a mess, but we're working on it. Okay, tonight got the taillights wired in. I'll finish them up tomorrow. I'll do all the connectors and everything. I've got my spaghetti mess is down to just 2 wires now instead of the 3. So I got the dome light still I got to sort out, and brake lights. I got the fuel gauge wire plugged in the back, goes up all the way around. It's just sitting on the floor back there. I've got to get under the car and make that go all the way. I got this
Oh, excuse me. I got the that yellow wire right there. That's the brake lights, all nice, fancy. Not brake lights, excuse me, but tail lights. Up there, you can see that purple wire going to the gas level the terminal off the gas gauge. So, like I said, it's already 8 o'clock at night. I'm getting yelled at by my girlfriend to come home. So, gotta go eat dinner. We'll be done for the night. I don't know if this will be in one video or if I'll film tomorrow. I'll start editing tonight, see what I need, and if I need any more, well, you'll see me in the morning. If not, then next week, I guess. I don't know.